What happened to Januzaj, from Ronaldo comparisons to sitting in jacuzzis? There were very few moments of the David Moyes era that Manchester United fans can look back upon and smile, but the excitement that surrounded Adnan Januzaj's introduction certainly qualifies as one. Heading into the game against Sunderland on October 5, 2013, Moyes knew 3 points for his United side were essential given the embarrassment of the recent Manchester derby and West Brom defeats. Yet when Craig Gardner's first half strike handed the Black Cats an early lead, Moyes' side found themselves in a real hole. Enter Januzaj, the 18-year-old Belgian who had been snapped up from the conveyor belt of talent that is Anderlecht's youth setup. Januzaj had been handed his full first-team debut at the Stadium of Light, Moyes' decision to turn to youth in times of trouble proving to be an inspired one as the teenager went on to enjoy a debut that lives long in the memory of the United faithful to this day. A second-half brace turned the game on its head, his second a particularly delightful volleyed effort that took a stunning level of precision that sparked wild celebrations in the away end as Januzaj secured a crucial 3 points for the Red Devils. The weeks that followed were littered with United fans and ex-players alike salivating over the kind of player Januzaj could go on to become, with former Old Trafford star Quinton Fortune likening him to none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. Adnan has so much belief and confidence, and that's hard to see in young players these days. He reminds me of Ronaldo when he arrived, and he has exactly the same mentality, the South African explained. Fortune was not alone in his lofty predictions for Januzaj. Robin van Persie, who led the line for United on that fateful afternoon in Sunderland, also touted the Belgian for greatness. Over the years I've seen so many young players, and I can honestly say that of all the young players I've seen he is right up there in the top 1 or 2, he told the United's official website. He's a great player, and I'm a great fan of his. I thought earlier in pre-season that he has something special. He will give Manchester United a great bunch of goals and great games. He's a special player. Januzaj's start to life at Manchester United was so scintillating that some began to speculate over whether he was eligible to represent England at international level. Moyes perhaps paid Januzaj the greatest compliment of all, revealing to the Telegraph, Adnan Januzaj is, in my managerial time, the best young talent up there with Wayne Rooney. When we had Wayne at Everton you could see the potential. Adnan Januzaj has got all that at the same age as Wayne. He's one of the best young talents in Europe and he will go on to become one of the best players. However, his time as one of European football's hottest properties would not last forever. In fact, it would barely last longer than a year. Moyes would last little over 6 months beyond Januzaj's stunning debut before he was eventually sacked by those at the top of the Old Trafford hierarchy. His replacement, Louis van Gaal, was less impressed by Januzaj, who was handed significantly less game time under the Dutchman than he was his predecessor. Shipped out to Borussia Dortmund on loan for Van Gaal's final season at United, Januzaj failed to revive what was by this point a flatlining career. A season spent at Sunderland represented just how far Januzaj had fallen. A ground he once lit up in the colours of the biggest club in the country was now his home for a campaign after being exiled by Van Gaal's successor José Mourinho. Have your say. Should Januzaj have become one of the best in the world? Comment below. The player has since come out and criticised both Van Gaal and Mourinho for the way they handled him during the tail end of his time in Manchester. Club legend Nicky Butt once claimed that Januzaj was the biggest disappointment to come out of the United Academy setup, explaining how he had the talent to become a world superstar. In response, Januzaj said to ESPN what he said, "It's true. But the only problem is that I didn't have the right coach to get me on my level and to push me. I was 18 or 19 and I just had to accept things. Before that I had people who believed in me like Ferguson. If he had stayed there longer I think I would have played longer for Manchester United." While the Belgian may have tried to shirk responsibility for his own demise, former United coach Warren Joyce offered up a different perspective as to why it no longer worked for Januzaj at United. "The frustrating thing is seeing ones like Januzaj get up to that level and stop doing the work they did to get them to that level," Joyce explained. "Not play the games, not train as hard, sit in jacuzzis, and not do the same weights and sessions they did to get there. Those are the frustrating ones for me, because that could be avoided." Now 26 years of age, Januzaj has somewhat stemmed the damage done to his career and finds himself at La Liga outfit Real Sociedad, where he has become a mainstay, making more than 100 appearances for Lostkurierten. Despite the fact a return to the Premier League seems unlikely, United did take the precaution of inserting a buyback clause in Januzaj's Sociedad contract. The clause is perhaps a testament to the ability of a player who could have been one of the best in the world according to Gary Neville if he had only spent more time out on the pitches at Carrington instead of the jacuzzis.